Hey, how's it going? This is Riley with ClickLaw. Today I'm going to be showing you my exact process for ranking law firm websites higher in Google. And so I'm just going to jump right into it for you. I want this to be a no BS guide. I want you to be able to implement everything I kind of talk about here today. So I'm going to try to keep it a little bit simple, but I do want this to be a complete guide for you that you can just jump right in and follow. And so I'm going to jump right into it for you. So this is Ahrefs. This is the software that I use to do all of my SEO research. And we can see here is the keyword that we're going to be using today. Don't let this discourage you if you don't work in immigration law and you're not in Raleigh. This will work. The things I'm about to tell you today are evergreen. They will work within any city and within any specialty in law. So I just want to make a note of that. So I know there's a lot of information here. I'm going to try to break it down for you. This keyword difficulty box right here is kind of tells you how difficult Ahrefs thinks that it'll be to rank. I wouldn't pay too much attention to this. Definitely worth taking a glance at. But regardless of how difficult it is, if you're an immigration lawyer in Raleigh, you're going to want to pay attention to SEO. And that's kind of the first thing I'm going to talk about as to why. Why is it so important to worry about where you rank in Google, and is it even valuable? So this is how difficult it would be to rank. This is really not that bad at all. And also this is just kind of Ahrefs' suggestion. Obviously, they can never know exactly 100%. But this is where all of the potential is, and this is why SEO is so valuable for you. As you can see, the graph is steadily growing up, or steadily increasing, going up. But the search volume right here, so Ahrefs is saying 350 people every single month are searching for an immigration lawyer in Raleigh. So these are people that are at their computer or on their phone that are ready and wanting and needing an immigration lawyer in Raleigh. So if you're an immigration lawyer in Raleigh, these are the best types of cold leads that you can get. If they look at your website first, then they're most likely to click your website. If they see your website first when they're in the exact moment looking for an immigration lawyer in your city and you show up first, it is very, very likely that they're going to be that you're going to be the one to at least get a contact form or a call from that lead. So it's very, very motivated leads that are in need now. So that is why SEO, one of the reasons SEO is so valuable and so important. So we can see, again, 350 people every single month are searching for this. So I like to say, like, imagine, actually, I'm going to scroll down here and kind of show you more before I talk about that. So as I scroll down here, this is the SERP overview. SERP stands for Search Engine Results page. This is just the normal, what you'd see if you Google this, but it's just condensed, and I'll actually show that to you right here. So what you're seeing on this screen here is just the condensed version of all of this info here. So all of these links and all of these, this is called the meta title, meta description, all these meta titles here you can see in one screen on Ahrefs. So just so you're kind of on the same page there. So this is what I wanted to highlight here. So traffic numbers. This is how much monthly traffic each of these websites are getting for this search. So Justia is a aggregator, so they're not actually a lawyer. Obviously, it's just a directory of lawyers. So we're going to look past that. But so Edgerton Immigration Law, 134 people every single month are going to their website solely because the ranking. This says 4, but it's counting the local pack. So this is actually the second ranking here. Just because they're ranking second, just because they've spent time to optimize their website, they're bringing in 134 eyes. I like to compare this to a retail store. Imagine if you had 134 people walking into your store every single month. So just in terms of law, obviously, 134 people walking into your office every single month. Just because they're doing these optimizations correctly, and just because they either know what they're doing or they're very old firm, established, and they have a lot of authority, they're ranking second. But as you can see here, as you go down, you can see there's even more traffic going down to the 7th spot. That the reason for that is, as you can see, these are all ranking for different keywords here. So they're ranking for just immigration attorney without the actual Raleigh NC here. So that's why it shows that they're getting more traffic. Normally, the higher up you are in the search engine in the rankings, the more traffic you're going to get. But as you can see here, so Vasquez Law, getting 265 people every single month straight to the website because their website's optimized. I like to say, imagine even 10% of those are converting to a paying client for you. That's 26 and a half, almost 27 new clients every single month just because they're optimized. So that is why that's why SEO is so valuable, and why you should pay attention to it. So now that whole spiel is out of the way, and hopefully you understand the value of SEO, I'm going to jump into my actual process here. And I want to start by just taking a glance at these. As you can see here, so not including Justia, obviously it's a directory. And so we're going to just look at the actual law firms here that are ranking. I just want to make a quick note here. This is the keyword that we're trying to rank for here: immigration lawyer in Raleigh, North Carolina. Google is based off text. It ranks off text for 95% or higher. I mean, that's a made up figure. So don't quote me on that, but it is all text. If you go look at Wikipedia, there are barely any images. It's complete text-based. So Google needs to know what your website is based on the text that you have on the website. So if this is what you're trying to rank for, this is your main keyword, you need to include this main keyword within your website, within your meta title, within your meta description, on your website. And I'm going to take you through everything that I kind of do during my it's just normal SEO audit. So I've got a law firm here that I'm going to jump into for you in just a second. But I do want to just make another quick note. This is your main keyword right here. Justia at least has Raleigh immigration lawyers, North Carolina. Second, they don't even have their keyword, the meta title right here. They have Raleigh immigration lawyer. Okay, so they don't have, that's pretty much their main keyword right there. Raleigh immigration attorney, Raleigh NC family-based immigration lawyer Raleigh. So I just want to make note of this. A lot of these websites have their keyword right there in their meta title, and that's something that we're going to go check. And as I go through my checks for this company here, or this law firm here. But just wanted to kind of show you that a lot of these top ranking spots have some form of their main keyword. So just keep note of that. This is what's very important here. Google ranks based off of words. Like it looks at the text on your website to try to get an idea of what your website's about, and then it uses other factors to determine if your website is authoritative enough to rank at the top of Google. So for what we do here, Her Husky Law Office, I believe they're on the second page here. Her Husky right here. So they're still getting 9 traffic, but that's nothing compared to what's going on up here in the top 10. And there's small tweaks that they can make that I'm going to take you through that they can do to improve this. They're ranking 16th right now. I really don't think I would have any issue popping them into the top 10 over a few months or so. So that is why right now I want to take up my little checklist here. This is just very high level, basic. If you want me to go into any of these, make a full video on any of these, just let me know and I'm happy to do so. But this is kind of my checklist, very high level that I put together. And if you want this, just comment down below and I will send you this, or you can just screenshot it. But this is just very high level, very basic. And first, it all starts with the page speed, metadata, which is this. I'm going to go into more on page with the H1 tags, the content. Then we're going to check all the links, and then the site structure and URL structure. So I just want to show you my overall checklist so you can see kind of where we're going. And I'll pull this up intermittently as we go as well. So the first thing on that checklist is to look at the page speed. So this is more technical. Google does take into account how quickly your website loads. So you need to look at it like this. Google is a for-profit company, and if they are ranking you at the top of their rankings, they're trying to serve their clients the best website they possibly can. So their clients are the searcher, whoever's looking for immigration law in Raleigh. So if you're trying to rank for immigration law in Raleigh and your website takes forever to load, that's Google's not going to put you at the top because they don't put a bad product at the top for their clients, the searcher. So you want to make sure, first of all, your website loads very quickly. And this is a Google product that you can use to check the speed of your website. And it gives you a lot of technical insights. So you can do mobile and desktop. So this may seem low, but I've looked at hundreds and hundreds of websites, and it is very difficult to get this number above 70 or even 75. So 60 is actually pretty good. I would say 60, 65, 70 is a great number for mobile performance. And then desktop, they're doing great here. I like to say anything above an 85 is sufficient. Obviously, anything 90 plus is great. So technically, they're doing very well. And I just want to show you Google, or this website here, PageSpeed Insights, does give you exactly what's going on here. So you can take this, and if you're technically inclined, you can use this to improve your website, or you can have someone help you. You can hire someone on Upwork, or I can also jump in and help you improve your technicals as well. So that is check one here. Page speed, go check your technicals. I'm actually going to put that in parentheses, technicals. So that's step one. So they're doing good there. So what do we want to look at now? We want to look at the metadata. So we're on step two. We're looking at the metadata here. I have this Google plugin that shows you the meta title and the meta description of each page. So look what they're doing here. Immigration attorneys, Raleigh, North Carolina. This is actually perfect. This is exactly how I would structure this meta title. And take note, they say immigration attorneys, and what we can do is actually go check which one has more. Do this all live for you. Which keyword has more traffic coming in? So as you can see, immigration attorney only gets 100 traffic every month, and it's more difficult to rank for. Immigration lawyer gets 350. So just something simple like that, I would go in and I would look and say, okay, I would just change this to immigration lawyers, because even though it's like a slight change, it's just, if you can be perfect, you might as well. So that's just a slight change. And let's take a look at their meta description. The meta description isn't really a ranking factor, but you still want it, want your keyword in there. And I'll show you why. As you can see here, Google likes to highlight or bold certain keywords that are related to whatever your search is. So it definitely helps to have your keyword in here, just to make sure. It helps increase, so you can see right here, it helps increase click-through rate a little bit. It doesn't do too much with ranking though. So on the check, I'm going to check a few pages here. The home page is obviously the most important page, so we're going to spend most of our time here just for this video. But yeah, so I give them a pass here, or a passing grade here. I think they're doing well. I would change this slightly, and I would find a way to incorporate their main keyword, which is immigration lawyer in Raleigh, North Carolina. But other than that, they're doing pretty well. And then so this plugin also shows you all the headers. So that is what's next on our checklist here, the H1. So the H1 is the most important text on your website. It is what Google uses to determine, or Google puts most of the weight on your H1 to determine what your website is about. So as you can see, immigration attorneys serving Raleigh, North Carolina, I think that is perfectly fine. Again, I would just choose lawyers, just because actually, let's check. Are they ranking better for attorney? They were ranking like 16th for lawyer. So let's see how much of an impact this has. I'm just going to spend some quick time. They're ranking 14th. So no, it does not seem like, unless I just completely passed it. But as you can see, Vasquez was ranking, I don't actually think this one. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so they're still there. Okay, it doesn't look like that they are ranking better for that. But anyway, let's just jump back into what we were doing, looking at the headers. So their H1 most important text on their website, and they have some version of their keyword in there. So that is another tip I want to give you. Make sure you have some version of your main keyword inside your H1. So let's go find that, actually, because I didn't see it on here. Sometimes it's hidden, or sometimes it's way down. So I'm actually not seeing on this website. I thought this was the H1 for sure. Immigration attorneys serving, so full scale law services, it must be, here it is right here. Immigration attorneys serving Raleigh, North Carolina is their H1. It obviously, Google is only reading the HTML code, so it doesn't matter that it's over here and smaller than this text. As long as it's in the back end, in the actual code of the website, coded as an H1, Google will read it as an H1. And another tip I want to give you, you should only have one H1 per page. So moving on, so they do have their header, their main keyword in their H1. So then other H tags, you want to sneak in, or not sneak in, you want to put in just different versions of your keyword within your other H2s. within your other H tags. So as you can see here, they're H2, full-scale immigration law services. I would just add in Raleigh at the end of that to include your location to get some geo-targeting that keyword. So it'd be full-scale immigration law services in Raleigh. I might even just do, since they have attorney here, maybe you could do full-scale immigration lawyer in Raleigh. So let's see, that's the only time that they have, the only other time they have some version of their keyword. So what I would do is just add a little bit more, or add another variation of their keyword in another header tag, maybe one or two. So maybe contact our law firm in Raleigh. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, so I would just, they only have it one time or one other time. So I would just find other ways to add in different variations of that keyword just to help Google. I would not, as a tip here, I would not put the, definitely don't put your main keyword in every single H2 and your H1. I would definitely have it in your H1 and have it in 2 different H2s. I would say that is sufficient. Google is smart enough to realize what your website's about. As long as you do that, you don't want to over optimize because that's a negative for Google. Another thing I want to point out here, it's not necessarily a ranking factor, but they do jump around from H tags. Generally, you want to go from H1s to H2s to H3s to H4s, etc. Here they jump from an H1 to an H6, an H2 to an H6, H2 to an H4, H2 to an H5. So you see what I'm saying? So the developer here did not really put too much time into making sure that these are coded correctly in the back end, but I would just kind of change these around and just make sure they're kind of going in descending order. So that is their H tags. So then let's take a look at their content. I like, just as a general rule, 1,000 words of content per page, especially for a main page like this. This is actually looking pretty good here, just from a content standpoint. And then what else I like to do is kind of look into the content to see if they have their main keywords sprinkled in here somewhere. So our attorneys, I'm not seeing anywhere where Raleigh is mentioned. Not seeing anywhere where Raleigh is mentioned. Not in there. Not in there. No, so it doesn't look like they have. So here's this, the first time Raleigh, North Carolina is coming up again. I would definitely add some more keywords within their content as well, and I might add a few more sections here. But honestly, this is sufficient. I'm scrolling through it. I would definitely add just one more larger content section here, just to kind of beef this page up. It's close. It's like right on the edge of what I would consider like okay. But if I was in control of this, I would add another content section here. So where did my little content? There's my list here. So content, I'm going to jump into the Google Business Profile. So I kind of scrolled past it down here. This is not a Google Business Profile like embedded on the website. This is just random Google. So where does this take? Okay, so it does link to their office, but it's not actually embedded here. So what you can do, I'm going to see if I can find one. Let's see if I can get lucky here. Vasquez Law Firm. Let's see if they have their Google Business Profile embedded on. So it doesn't look like they do. And you can't go home for them. So you see how long, how much content is on this page. This is I would add a lot more content to like this. I would make it look something like this. So let's see if we go here. So they still don't really have they just have their address. So but what you can do is actually embed your Google Business Profile, and this is their Google Business profile right here. And when you embed it on your website, it actually shows the reviews, and they have great reviews. So that's something they would definitely want to highlight on their website. And it also shows the actual practice name. So as you can see here, it's not really showing anything. Plus, embedding the GBP onto your website gives such a positive ranking factor to Google and shows them that you are a very real business. You have reviews, and since Google Business Profile is a Google product, Google gives a little bit of a boost for that as well, because you're using one of their products and embedding it on your website, kind of spreading the word about that. So I would definitely go through, and if I was in control of this website, I would immediately add the GBP embed to the footer here. Social links. So let's see, do they have, it does not see, unless it's behind where my face is, I can't move that. It does not look like they have any Facebook page linked. At minimum, I would just add a Facebook page just to get another simple link in there. So that will help a ton as well. So site structure, let's go take a look at, so when I say site structure, I'm mainly talking about how these links are laid out up here. I do like that they have a click to call up here. So they have our team, that's good. They have drop downs for all of their services. There's something kind of weird going on with the way they're laid out, but Google doesn't really look at that. They have client portal, blog. Okay, so the site structure looks good so far. So let's start looking into some of these pages. Yep, so it goes to practice areas, is the practice area. So practice areas is a page and it links here to all of these. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so, and they have breadcrumbs here as well, so they're doing well there. So let's just go into immigration since that's our main keyword. So as you'll notice, actually, let's look into this a little bit further. It was actually their homepage that was ranking, even though they do have a service page or a practice area page, it was in fact their homepage that was ranking down here. This is what I clicked on. Let's see if we can find it. I think it was 16. So look, this is their homepage that's ranking for this. It's not the service page, and that's normally what's going to happen, which is why your homepage is the most important page and why you need to spend the most time there. Just make sure the content's all beefed up. So jumping back to the immigration page, obviously it's also important to make sure this page is optimized and correct. Look at all this information and text they have on this page. Like, no, it's not formatted like the homepage is, but Google doesn't look at the formatting. It's just looking at how much content you actually have here. So they have a ton of great content here. Let's see, and notice these internal links here. I would even say, no, so I was about to say that I think that might be too many, but it's not. Like, I think that's a really great amount, or really solid amount. They're linking to the homepage. I was linking to their our teams page, and then I think that these go out to external links. No, these go out to other pages or practice areas, and they also have all their practice areas linked on the side, so they're doing well there as well. So this looks good to me. Let's check the metadata here. So they have no meta description. This is something I would immediately try to add, or that I would add. I don't like putting the location at the front of the title tag, so I would change this to immigration lawyers in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then this is exactly how I would lay out the name of the practice as well. So they're doing all good there. Let's see what the H1 is. The H1, they're doing well again. They kind of move. Okay, so these are all considered H3s, I believe. Oh, no, these are all actually H3s. Let's see. So that is something I would change immediately as well. All of this content here, these headers are H3s instead of H2s. That's something that I would go in and change. But overall, I think they're doing well there. So let's just take a look at our checklist again. So they didn't have any social links. Their site structure looks really good. I'm happy with that. And let's jump into the URL structure. It looks good as well. So they have Husky Law Office / practice areas / immigration. So they're doing well there. Let's take a look at criminal immigration. And it is a sub page of this immigration, which I think is really good as well. Let's try this one. Okay, so they're doing really well there, and they have a nice solid amount of content. Yes, they need meta descriptions on these pages, and they need to fix their heading structure as well. But overall, the site is in a nice spot. The last thing I want to check is their blog. The blog is important for answering questions and kind of building more authority. You're not going to obviously probably get too many clients from these blogs, but what these blogs do is help push your main pages and help push your homepage up in the search engine results page. So these are definitely important as well. So I'm going to click in. Let's see common mistakes. Let's see how many words these have. This is a good blog. Just based on how many words there are, common mistakes in Greek card application. Let's see, common mistakes. Okay, I like all this. They actually have a meta description here. Let's see if they have, and they have correct headings here. So as you can see, they actually have H2s instead of having everything as an H3 like they did on their service page. Nice. So it looks like their blog. How many blogs do they have? So okay. They have 3 pages of going back to 2019. Okay, so I think this is somewhat of a newer firm. And so I've gone through all of this, and if you've watched till this point, you've seen me kind of check off all these things on my checklist, and they kind of passed all of it. So why aren't they ranking better? That is something else that I want to kind of touch on here, and that is this number here. So I'm going to scroll up. this domain rating. So whenever you hear someone talk about backlinks, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about trying to increase this domain rating, and the domain rating is just the authority of your website in the eyes of Google. So obviously Justia is a huge directory. They have a ton of authority, and so they have 90. They're ranking at the top, and as you can see, these websites at the top here, 9, 8, 11, 22, 4, 19, 22, usually up in the top 10 here, you'll see higher domain ratings. And then as we go down, so they have a domain rating of only 3. So everything, I would say, I would give this website like an 85 out of 100 if I was going to score it SEO wise. But what they're missing is the off-page stuff. What they're missing is authority. What you can do to get authority is create that Facebook page and link it, create that Google business profile, and embed it on your website. And then also get backlinks in other ways. So anytime you hear someone talk about backlinks and getting backlinks, they're talking about talking about trying to improve this domain rating or this authority rating to move up in the search end results page. What Her Husky needs to do is improve their domain rating and start moving up these ranking, or start moving up the search end results page in the increasing their authority as well. So what we did is, nope, that's not what I was trying to click. So what we went through today is looking at the technicals. You can use the free Google product PageSpeed Insights, look at all their metadata, and just make sure your main keyword is in that metadata. Make sure your main keyword is in your H1. Sprinkle it a different variation throughout your other H1 H tags. Make sure you have at least 1,000 words of content and that you have some version of your keyword. Again, you do not want to stuff your keyword in there and over optimize. Google's way too smart to not understand what your website's about. You just need to put your main keyword in there just a few times. I would embed the GPP. I would create a Facebook page and link it as well. Site structure was all good. Just make sure the main thing with site structure is making sure that you have a separate service page for each service. So, and then URL structure is just making sure that all the way your navigation works makes sense. So like I said, if you go to immigration, it's just practice areas immigration. I would even put like /law at the end here maybe, but they're fine the way they are. And then criminal immigration is a subfolder of immigration. So that works and that makes a lot of sense. So that is really just the high level overview. Maybe I went through that a little bit quickly. But if there's anything that you want me to touch on more specifically, just let me know. And also, if you would like me to go through your website with you, there is a link I will put a link in the description and on if you click into my channel, there's a Calendly link, a free 30-minute strategy session that I will walk you through everything that I see on your website, and we kind of talk about it, and I can give you my thoughts on how you can improve your ranking for your law firm website as well. So I do hope that you found this useful, and if you have any questions, just leave them below. If you want me to share this with you, I will paste this in the description below. And yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. I hope this was useful for you. Thanks. Bye.